My name is Victoria Winters. On the surface, the day at Collinwood seems calm and serene. Nothing could be more normal than my preparing to teach a young boy his school lessons. Yet there is an undercurrent, a tension that is felt everywhere, a tension that reaches out and builds and waits to break free.
Come in, Mr. Carter. I've been waiting for you.
Got here as soon as I could, Mr. Collins. You know how those county meetings are. Everybody sitting around talking about the best way to enforce the law. I see your arm's out of the sling.
Oh, yes, it's much better, thanks.
Say, I stopped on the way up the hill to look at that car of yours. Boy, you certainly are one lucky man. That's all I can say.
Well, I hope you'll say a great deal more than that before we're through. Let's go inside.
All right.
How did you know about my arm?
Police report. I stopped off at the docks. Figured if you wanted to see me about the accident, I better do some digging first.
Do you think you could dig up a murderer?
So you want me to look for a murderer?
That's right.
Who was killed?
Nobody, but I might have been.
Can I use your phone?
Oh, go right ahead.
I think what you're talking about, Mr. Collins, is attempted murder, if that is a fact.
It is.
Hello, Jonas. How long have you been here?
A couple of minutes.
Did you come in together?
No, I've been here about half an hour.
Did Miss Winter speak to you?
No.
She had a letter from the foundling home today. It might cause trouble for me. I want to talk to you about it before she sees you alone.
Please, I can't be bothered with that now. I've got much more important things to talk about.
Harry, I'll be at Conwood a little longer than I expected. Right. Would you check that traffic light just outside the church? Right. Well, faulty traffic lights and barroom brawls. That's what I usually get. So you say somebody tried to kill you?
The brakes in my car were tampered with.
Are you sure of that?
Yes, I'm positive. A valve had been removed from the car while it was still in the garage.
It's not exactly like a faulty traffic light, is it? Mrs. Stoddard, your brother wants me to charge Burke Devlin with attempted murder.
Well, I never even mentioned Burke's name.
You didn't have to. If you remember, I was on that case when you testified against Burke in that manslaughter trial. He's the one you mean, isn't he?
Constable, I can't think of anyone else who would want to harm me.
It had just started to rain when Lucy was found sitting under a giant tree and crying as though her heart would break. Mr. Johnson picked up his daughter in his arms and brought her back home. She never ran away again.
That's very good, David. You read well.
It's a stupid story. They don't even tell what happened to her.
Well, I suppose she lived happily ever after.
She ran away, didn't she? Don't you think she got punished?
I wouldn't know. Now, suppose we do a little work on the history of Maine.
When you were a kid, did you ever get punished?
Who didn't?
I mean, really punished for something very bad. I mean, what was the really worst thing you ever did?
Well, let's see. Once I got in a fight with a girl and I gave her a bloody nose.
Did you ever try and kill somebody?
I'm afraid not. David, which state do you think is the largest of all the New England states?
Well, if you had tried to kill somebody, what do you think they'd do to you?
David, you have to keep your mind on your schoolwork and stop
Would
wasting...
they send you to prison?
Yes. They'd lock me up and throw away the key and let me get all old and gray by myself. Now, let's get back to work.
Do you think my father came back yet?
I don't know. And you won't know a thing, Master Collins, unless you get your mind off crime and punishment and start to think about your lesson.
I wish.
What, David?
I wish I knew why my father never liked me.
The brakes didn't fail until I was partway down the hill, and that's when I went over the edge.
They'd been checked the week before. They were in perfect condition.
When did you find out about the missing bleeder valve?
Oh, it was about an hour later. It couldn't have fallen off, Mr. Carter. It had to be removed by a pair of pliers or a wrench.
Was my phone out of order?
I don't understand.
That's what I mean. You're a sensible man, Mr. Collins. Now, why did you wait 12 hours before you called me?
Well, I wanted to see Burke myself first.
Well, that's just great, isn't it? Nothing like giving the suspected criminal a little advance notice.
I didn't ask you to come here to deliver a lecture, Mr. Carter. I have my own reasons for seeing Burke. Let's let it go at that.
I'm afraid I can't. See, I work on facts, full information.
Well, I wanted to give him a chance. If he'd agreed to leave Collinsport and never come back, I was willing to forget about the whole thing.
Well, I take it he didn't agree.
Well, we never got to that point. He denied having anything to do with it, and that's when I decided to call you.
Mr. Collins, I'm afraid I'm going to have to give you another little lecture. Now, you say Devlin removed the valve from the main mixer on your brake.
That's right.
Now, you know for a fact that he had access to your car.
Yes, my son's tutor saw him in the garage.
When was that?
We told you, Jonas. Burke was here. He asked Roger to meet him in town, and then he left. We thought he'd gone back to his hotel. But then Miss Winters saw him standing by Roger's car.
I'd like to speak to Miss Winters, if I may.
I'll bring her down.
No, Roger, wait. I'll get her.
Liz, I told you not to worry about that stupid letter.
I'll get her, Roger.
Why don't you wait? My sister has a whim of iron.
She's a fine woman, Mr. Collins.
Did you know, David, that the very first Christmas tree in this country was here in Maine? Back in 1604, it was in a French settlement. Do you know where that was? David, I asked you a question.
Did you hear someone coming before?
You've got to stop thinking about your father and keep your mind on your work. Now, where was the first French settlement in Maine?
I don't know.
St. Croix Island. Do you think you can remember that?
Miss Winters, do you think my father went to the police?
David, please.
But I have to know.
Now, look.
I'm sorry to interrupt your lesson.
Well, I'm afraid we haven't been making much progress. David's still pretty upset about his father's accident.
Did he come home yet, Aunt Elizabeth?
Yes, he's downstairs.
I told you I heard the door. Did he find out what made his brake stop working?
David, right now, all I want you to think about is your schoolwork.
But
Your schoolwork, young man. Miss Winters, will you come downstairs a minute? The constable's downstairs and wants to talk to you.
the police? They're in the house?
Yes, and you concentrate on what you're doing. Miss Winters will be right back.
Mr. Devlin was standing next to Mr. Collins's car, and he had a wrench in his hand.
A wrench. That's pretty conclusive, isn't it?
Did he give any explanation for the wrench?
I've already told Mr. Collins.
Mr. Collins doesn't wear this badge. I'd like you to tell me.
He said he had found it on the front seat of the car. Well, I had driven the car earlier that day, and I hadn't left any wrench on the front seat.
Mrs. Stoddard, you think you could tell your brother to allow Miss Winters to answer my questions,
Carter,
please?
we're wasting time. She told you that she heard the engine hood slam shut, and then she saw the man holding the wrench in his hand. What more do you need?
I didn't hear anything about an engine hood. I thought she said she heard the car door slam.
Well, that's what I thought I heard.
Well, it could have been the hood.
Could have been is hardly fact, Mr. Collins. What did he do then?
Well, he said he was looking at the car because he was thinking of buying one like it. And then he left.
With the missing valve in his coat pocket.
Roger could have been killed.
I know. You think Devlin would have killed you?
Well, you just heard my sister. You saw the car. What do you think?
I'm talking about premeditated murder. Cold, calculated, premeditated murder. Did he have reason to hate you so much?
He seemed to think so.
Well, Mrs. Stoddard, he was in this house shortly before the accident. How did he act then?
Well, he was friendly enough. Too friendly, I thought.
Did he make any threats?
No.
Did he ever threaten you, Mr. Collins?
I told you he was very charming. He also asked me to meet him in town, knowing that I would have to use my car to get there. Don't forget that.
Now, you saw Devlin several times. Did he ever threaten Mr. Collins in your presence?
No.
I don't see what this has to do with anything.
We're talking about motive here, Mr. Collins. We all know it happened 10 years ago. 10 years is a long time.
The brakes were tampered with. Doesn't that speak for itself?
I always figured Devlin to be a hot-tempered man, but I never figured him to be insane.
No one's accusing him of being insane.
But you are. You all know that he had a grudge against your brother. 10 years ago, he went around here threatening. He said he'd come back here and kill you.
That's right.
Well, that was said in temper, Anger. A man sits on that anger for 10 years and then comes back and tries to murder somebody. Well, that isn't temper any longer. It's pure old-fashioned insanity. Little got out of prison 5 years ago. If he wanted to, he could have come back then. Is that right?
Well, all right, then. He was crazy. What else can I say?
Well, he could say he didn't do it.
Oh, now, look, Carter.
Well, it's a possibility, Collins. I just can't assume that Devlin is a calculated murderer.
Neither can I. What I meant was, when he denied it, I was there with Mr. Collins. And I'm sure he was telling the truth.
How could you tell he was?
How could you tell he wasn't? The only thing I want to do is think this thing over, that's all. Now, it's possible, isn't it, that wrench could have been in the front seat of the car.
But there was no wrench on the front seat. I've already told you that.
There was no wrench in the front seat of the car when you left the car. But between that time and the time Devlin went to look at your car, isn't it possible that somebody could have slipped in, removed the valve of the brake, and left the wrench in the front seat?
It's possible, but not probable.
Why, is your property so well guarded that nobody could get in here?
Well, of course not, but...
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Devlin didn't do it. Understand that. I'm just saying it's possible. We better look and see if there's probably somebody else who might have done it. That's all. That's right, Harry, New York. Let's put a call through and see what you can line up on Bert Devlin. No, don't go through the channels. It'll take too long. You get in touch with Lieutenant Palmer in Homicide. He's an old friend of mine. Frank Palmer. That's right. And tell him to call me back if he gets anything. And tell him to reverse charges. That's right. Well, I should get something by this afternoon.
What do you expect to learn?
I don't know. Every little bit helps.
I'm no lawyer, but you have enough now to make an arrest, don't you?
Maybe. But I can't take any chances. I've got to do a little digging first. So I won't arrest the wrong man.
Now, let's not start that again.
You have something against an open mind? Miss Winters, you think you could pick that wrench out for me?
I'll try.
Let's go to the garage. Maybe you can show me the exact spot where Devlin was standing.
All right.
I'll go with you. Are you going to stay here?
No. You never learn your schoolwork down here, David.
I wasn't listening.
Of course you were. There's one time I can understand it. But you're not going to learn any. It's too much excitement for one little boy to ignore. But I think you better go back upstairs now.
Aunt Elizabeth,
I thought I asked you to go upstairs.
I want to know something. Why does the constable keep saying it wasn't Frank Devlin that did it?
He didn't say that. He just said maybe it wasn't.
That's what Miss Winters thinks too, isn't it?
David, it's very complicated.
She just wants the blame on someone else, that's all.
Why don't we wait and see what happens?
What's corroborative evidence mean?
Hmm?
What the constable said about the fingerprints.
Oh, that means if somebody's fingerprints are on the wrench, it proves he held it in his hand. Now, out, young man.
But anybody's fingerprints could be on there.
David.
He's not going to send someone to jail just because he picked up a wrench, will he?
No, but it might be important.
But they...
Well, that didn't take long.
Well, not much to see except this. Hello, young fellow. What's your name? What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
David, what are you doing down here?
It's all right. He's probably just impressed with the dignity of my badge.
Hello? Oh, just a minute. It's for you, Jones.
Thank you. Yeah. Right, Harry. Did you reach him? Great. What did he say? But he's going to check. I see. Well, how long did he think it'd take? What else did he say? Well, that's all I can expect. Yes, we'll have something. We've got something here. A wrench with some prints on it. Now, will you just sit tight, Harry? Right. I'll be bringing it back to the office in a couple of minutes. Right, okay. Goodbye. Well, I guess there's nothing else for me to do around here.
What are you going to do now? Go see Bert?
I sure am. Meantime, I'd like you to think about what I said. Think of anybody who might have a grudge against you, no matter how wild the idea may seem.
David!
Don't touch it.
I knocked it over by mistake.
David, you stupid!
It's all right, he didn't know.
But he's got fingerprints all over it now.
Here, David. Here.
I'm sorry, it was an accident.
You know what you did with that accident?
I said I'm sorry.
It's all right. Just add it to the couple of prints we've got. At least we'll know how his got here. Well, I better be going.
Where the Action Is made its debut 1 year ago with top recording stars performing Where the Fun Is. Come along for a real good time next here on ABC. Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.